Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope you are all doing fantastic. Thank you very, very much for your patience with me this week. It was a great week. Also a little frustrating, but definitely glad to be back home and behind my own computer screen and excited to be here with you today on Wednesday. What is the date today? September 24th already. So, as most of you know at this point, we had a fantastic birthday weekend celebration for my wife. She had her birthday on Tuesday. No, Monday. Monday was her birthday. But we got out to Las Vegas on Friday and pretty much celebrated her birthday the whole weekend. And for those of you that don't know, that's not that exciting because we don't drink, we don't do drugs. We do gamble a little bit, so we threw a few dollars into some slot machines. I actually hit a hand pay for about $1,600. That was fun, but over the course of the rest of the weekend, that was like, I want to say that wasn't the first night. It wasn't Saturday, or that wasn't for wait, it was that was the first night, wasn't it? Yeah, so literally on Friday night, very first day we get there, she had to do some homework. I went over to the Venetian, played some poker, and then on my way back from playing poker, I hit a machine for like $1,600. I think I had $100 in it, so it was like a $1,500 profit. I had lost $600 playing poker, so it was only about $1,000 that I was ahead for the whole night. And then over the course of the weekend, we lost that $1,000, but that's okay. We had fun doing it. But anyways, it was a fantastic weekend. Got to enjoy a few incredible meals, and we really didn't do anything over the top exciting as far as shows and that kind of stuff, but definitely spent a lot of great quality time together and got to see some friends, went to church on Sunday, and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, Monday was her actual birthday, and was tied up, didn't do the live stream. Monday night, I ended up getting some food poisoning and was in a rough shape on Tuesday morning, so that was why no live stream on Tuesday. But here we are. Hopefully, everybody is doing fantastic. It looks like we got the whole crew in here today. Vanish Joy, thank you for being here. Good morning, Mr. Eric Bernstein. Good morning. Hope you are doing fantastic too. Both of you guys were around way before this thing even started this morning. Looking forward to it. So great to have you here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Mr. Dave P., how you doing, brother? Hope you are doing fantastic. Hey, Greg Nowak, how's it going, buddy? Hope you are doing fantastic, my friend. You are definitely in my prayers, man. Excited for you and your family, and really looking forward to the future. And we got Mr. Tim G in the house. There he is. Tim G is in the house. And Mr. Pablo Noodles. It's not looking like Brad has recovered yet. Man, I got to admit, Paul, I wanted to shave about 3 or 4 different times in the last few days, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So, yeah, I do. I am looking pretty rough today. I just realized that's funny that you would say that. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm feeling better, but definitely need to get rid. I hate all this white hair. I swear every single hair on my face is white. I've never liked beards, but one of the reasons that I definitely would not grow out a beard is I would look like Santa Claus for sure. Like every single, I'm only 52 anyway too. And yeah. So on that note, good to see you, Pablo. Glad you are here. Hope you're doing fantastic. Mr. Pablo is one of the first one of you guys that has jumped into Texit Coin. He got himself a Texit Coin miner over the weekend. So super excited for you, Paul. I know that that's going to be an amazing investment for you. I don't know if Joel is watching the stream, but another community member that is, a big part of the community here. Joel, he has been a part of the YouTube channel. He was part of the Sosana voting club, which I hope all of you guys got your Sosana tokens headed back in your direction. I noticed that I've gotten Sosana tokens the last 2 days. So for those of you that got your emails in, you should be receiving your Sosana tokens. They're basically splitting the total number owed to you up into 30 days, and they're giving them out at, a 30th at a time. So you'll have 100% of your Sosana tokens in a month. But Joel was in on Sosana. Joel was in on Infinite Agape. And now Joel is also got some Texit Coin miners. In fact, Joel got the 9 miner package with 2 free. So that is going fantastic. He's super excited about the tokens that are running in. The Texit Coin tokens are up over 5, going on about $5.50 a token. So that is all going extremely well. Other than that, though, the market's been kind of rough, right? I mean, I was in Las Vegas having fun, but I couldn't help but see, I got I got liquidated from the trades that I made last week. They were all small trades, but remember, on the Tuesday Trader, I did a trade. I think it was on Injective, Hyperliquid, and H-bar, something like that. I forget the exact 3, but I'm pretty sure I know it's Hyperliquid and Injective and one other. And I think all 3 of those, I know for sure at least 2 of those 3 got liquidated. Those were only like $30, $35 trades, so I wasn't, too worried about it. But all of the other trades that I had in play previous to that are still in play. They're obviously down a little bit. I mean, Polkadot just can't make up its mind. I mean, this thing ran all the way up to $4.80 here. $4 and just a few days ago. It was at almost $4.80. It came back down. I believe it went under $4. Yeah, it's showing here $3.95 to $4.76. So that's a pretty good sized jump. Luckily, I'm in this trade at like $3.30. So I'm still miles away from having to worry about getting liquidated. But yeah, man, when it was sitting up at $4.80, my $200 was worth around $1,100 if I remember correctly. I think that was the peak. I saw it at about $1,100 on couple back on September 18th. Still hanging in there, still up $400 or $500 on that $200 trade. But this last week, I haven't spent a whole lot of time worrying too much about the market. I told you guys I wasn't going to talk about Texit Coin all the time, and I'm going to try not to. But most of my efforts and most of the work that I've been doing for the last few weeks has been revolved around Texit Coin, and my Texit Coin, business. I'm sitting at, I think I've built up about 700 Texit Coins between my miners, and then they've got some bonuses right now. That's something else that I want to mention too, guys. It's not just me making money. That 4 of the people that I have shared the Texit Coin miners with that have come in and bought miners have all. There's 4 people that have shared the miners with their friends. And so I've got 4 different people, on the network, on the networking side that have all picked up $1,000 commissions. They've earned 2 miners free, and they've earned 100 Texit Coin for free. So, and then I did better. I told you guys that I'd made $7,000 in the first couple of weeks, and I basically doubled that last week. I made $7,000 paid out in USDC last week. So I haven't found a better opportunity inside of crypto in the last 8 or 9 years than what I'm seeing with Texit Coin. They just published another video talking about the path to 80. So we were looking at about hoping for a $16 token by February. It's very much looking like we're going to blow that out of the water the way things are going. And there's a very, very real solid case for Texit Coin being up at closer to an $80 token come February of 2026. So, you kind of have to put your time in where you're making the most money. And so, Texit Coin has put $14,000 cash in my pocket. 12 free miners. I've built up 12 more miners. So I'm sitting at 23 miners that are producing around $100 a day worth of tokens. So I've created a $3,000 a month passive income. And that's with Texit Coin sitting at just over $5. So when Texit Coin is up at $10, $15, $20 and more, what I will have created in just a few short weeks, not to mention I'm continuing to build on that every week, is going to be pretty darn amazing. And I think there's a few of you watching this that are gonna regret not taking a more serious look at the Texit Coin and the miner situation, and you're gonna wish that maybe you had jumped in and got yourself at least one miner. I recommend the 9 miner package where you get 2 free, but at the same time, I know everybody's financial situation is different, and just getting in and getting one miner is an incredible step in the right direction. Let's go over here and take a quick look at NOS. Still looking for an entry point on NOS. Can't seem to get it to dip down the way that I would like for it to. I'm still a little bitter, guys, that I didn't catch it down here at 38 cents. That's kind of still a little frustrating to me. And but what are we going to do? At 76 cents, I still think it's a great buy. I just haven't bought it yet. In fact, I got tied up last week. We did the Wednesday live stream last week, and then Thursday was busy, and then we left Friday. So I haven't had a chance to buy any. I haven't bought anything in the last week, even though there was a couple of tokens that I wanted to take a closer look at. Guys, do me a favor, Eric Bernstein. I know that you mentioned a token last week on the stream. I think it was you. And then Paul or Dave P, we talked about a token for you, and maybe, I don't remember if Greg mentioned a token, but I wanted to take a look at the price on the tokens that we were looking at last week. I cannot think of the names of them for anything. One of them was what, Xterio? It was an XTER. Let me see, was that right? XER. No, XTER, right? XTER, Xterio. Yeah, here we go. So here's the Xterio token that we were looking at last week. Looks like it was as high as 10.77, down as low as 8.7 cents. So we were looking at this too. Since January, it's down about 85%. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Dave P was Redstone. And then here we go. We got, it's Xterio. So these are still 2 tokens that I have on my radar and are looking to potentially add to the bag of tokens. So I wanted to just double check. That's right. We've got Xterio here is on the Binance Smart Chain. And then Redstone, it seemed like, was on ETH, but I don't remember too much. It looks like Redstone is up a little bit higher than it was when we looked at it last week. It's gone anywhere from about 50 cents all the way up to 59, going on 60 cents in the last week. And right now it's sitting right in between at 52.38. And it is on the Ethereum network. So I'm going to do a better job of Redstone. So the crazy thing about this is I think we are going to be the other thing that I've been, or we're going to be back in Vegas again this weekend. So I've got a networking event, an event with Ryan Pineda, the real estate investor, where, looking to continue to share the AGAPE token and working on that. And that's something else I wanted to mention real quick for those of you that have AGAPE token. I know that project seems a little bit stagnant, and it is. I mean, doesn't seem stagnant. It's been a little bit stagnant, but there are some good things in place. That's the other thing that I'm working on. And it's another reason that I'm working so hard with the miners in Texas, is to be able to create some cash flow that I can divert into the AGAPE token and that business model to help it grow and kind of almost relaunch in a way. So Deadwood says he is stacking some cash for base when they decide to drop a coin. What do you mean by that, Deadwood? I was under the impression that Coinbase, in order to, avoid regulation and the SEC and all of that, I thought that was kind of one of the reasons that they went public and created, the stock for Coinbase, was because they weren't going to create a traditional cryptocurrency token. Has that changed? I agree with Deadwood. If this is something that is in the works and is going to be happening, definitely a great place to have some money ready. I think if Coinbase drops a token, it will definitely be massive. It'll skyrocket up to multi-billion dollar token basically overnight. So that if that is a rumor that is starting to look like it is becoming more of a truth, then that is definitely something that all of us want to put on our radar. And I would highly recommend that we start looking, for some credible sources and figure out where we can stay, up to date, keep our finger on the pulse, because if Base drops a token, that would be massive. The other token that I'm kind of looking to see what's going to happen with is MetaMask. MetaMask has been threatening to drop a token and do an airdrop to its holders for years. And I'm trying to figure out when in the world that's going to happen. And if not now, when? I can't think of too much of a better time frame with crypto the way that it is. Bitcoin, way up over 100,000 now for months and months and months. I just can't see them. If they're going to drop a token, it seems like MetaMask would drop a token, that they would drop a token before the end of this bull market. So, I've used MetaMask now for 9-10 years, have a few different wallets that I've used a ton. And so I'm pretty excited about a MetaMask airdrop. I figure a MetaMask airdrop would probably be worth, probably at least $10,000 to me, maybe more, depending on, the criteria, the qualifications to get the airdrop and exactly, what it all entails. But has anybody heard any new news about MetaMask? I would love to know more about that. Yeah. So Vanish here said, so Coinbase has a plan on launching a coin as well. That would be interesting. What do you think, Deadwood? I mean, are they going to be able to do like a full raise? Are they going to do a ICO? Or do you think Coinbase is going to do some type of an airdrop to avoid getting in trouble and having any worries about the SEC? Vanish says also MetaMask. I hope you are right. I hope that MetaMask is coming. And then it says Base wants to be the US-based Binance killer, right? I mean, that's pretty obvious. If you go to Coinbase and you want to transfer money from Coinbase to MetaMask, you can do it on almost every single network except for Binance. And obviously that is because Coinbase doesn't like Binance and wants views Binance as their competition. It doesn't want to do anything that would help Binance. Like, I'm almost surprised that we can buy BNB. I think I don't even know if it's possible to buy BNB on Coinbase. Now that I think about it, I don't think I don't think you can even buy BNB and send BNB off of Coinbase. Now, yeah, that's right. You can't, because when we did the infinite AGAPE token, if people could have bought Coinbase, BNB on Coinbase and transferred it off, that would have made our lives so much easier. So I think you are definitely right, and you're onto something there. The main question, Deadwood, would be how fast can they get it done? Can they get it rolled out and in our hands during, this bull market? That's another one that if it was going to do an airdrop would be fantastic, but I'm just not sure. I think they've got the money and the ability that they're probably going to want to raise. They're probably going to raise, hundreds of millions of dollars potentially if they decide to drop a Coinbase token. I believe they've got the ability to just raise gobs and gobs and gobs of money for an ICO. So that will be very, very interesting to see what they are going to do. Let's get back over here to the main page for a second. Yeah, they will roll it out at a low point, or they will wait till the market top to rake in the money. Yeah, that makes sense. So Bitcoin here is at 113,555. That seems extremely low, which is almost funny to say here at this point. It's kind of crazy to think that we are looking at $113,000 Bitcoin and wondering what's wrong with it, because it was 125,000 not too long ago, and we all are expecting, or I think a lot of us are expecting a little bit higher. Like I keep expecting a 150, a 175 coming for Bitcoin. And at some point in time in altcoin season, this altcoin season that looked like it was getting ready to start, didn't. Here we go. If you look back here, we've gotten -7%, -7%, -7%. Avalanche is an outlier here, up 17.5% over the last week. But just about every single altcoin, you got Hyperliquid here down 17%, SWE down 4.6%. All of the ETH stuff down 7%. Hedera down 4%. I've got some good trades in on Hedera, but they're all down right now. Kronos down 12%, although after that massive run up, 12% is not that big of a deal. Polkadot 2.4%. If we get down here, Uniswap's starting to get back down here to where it might be worth getting back into a leveraged trade on Uniswap. If we look at Uniswap, over the last handful of months, we can see where it popped all the way up to $12. But when we first started trading it here, it was down. Actually, it was even lower than this. I got into a Uniswap trade at like $4 or $5. So, but Uniswap back at $8 looks like it could be set up to maybe jump into another leverage trade. If you guys want to know why I'm not talking about the 8-figure portfolio challenge, it's kind of twofold. Number one, I keep going back and forth. I'm trying to really decide if I want to set myself up for a 4-year YouTube, process, like where I'm buying these coins, holding these coins, doing updates for 4 years before we see the actual results or not. The bigger thing is, while I'm kind of trying to decide if I like where this series is heading, is that over the last week, I just spent almost 0% of my time thinking about the 8-figure portfolio challenge. It is rough. I've got the Monday, I didn't do them this week, but the Monday mindset, then the Tuesday trader, then the Wednesday 8-figure portfolio. And then we've got extracurricular videos. It looks like it's not going to happen until next week, but I actually had a live stream that I'm going to have to go in and cancel, but I might as well mention it here real quick before I do that. Hey, it's 9:30.
Hi there. It's currently 9:30 a.m.
That's my new alarm.
With a current temperature of 81 degrees Fahrenheit.
So soothing. But anyways, and it's 81 degrees already here in the end of September. That's one of the things I love about the area that I live. It can be a little hot during the summer, but man, almost the end of September, beginning of October, it's 81 degrees at 9:30 in the morning, which is pretty sweet. But I was going to say here, we've got, this was set up for 11 o'clock today, but it's going to get rescheduled till next Monday, I believe. But you guys are definitely going to want to be ready to watch this next week. I'm going to be doing an interview with the CEO. This project is getting ready to launch in October, and we're going to be doing a nice giveaway. And so if you guys get a chance before this gets taken down, you might want to go take a peek at this token because it looks pretty exciting. It says AI Layer 0. And so you want to go take a look because these guys are kind of looking to be the infrastructure of AI. And so I'm looking forward to sharing these guys with you, looking forward to giving away $100 next week. This is going to get taken down. In the meantime, if you want to take a look at their website, I highly recommend going and taking, let me see here, or that's maybe we won't be taking a look at their website if that doesn't want to pull up. Weird. Maybe that'll pull up for you guys. I don't know if I'm just having some trouble, but you've got their Twitter here too that you can take a peek at. Maybe this link, does that link work any better? Nope, that's weird. I don't know what's going on with that link to the website, but you can see they've already got 100,000 followers and it hasn't even launched. And so, but they have been around here. They joined Twitter back in September of 2023. So even though it hasn't launched yet, you're looking at a token that has been put in place. Actually, no, that's interesting. It says the token contract address is here. Interesting. So obviously I still have a lot to learn about this project also, but definitely, it's got a grant, AI grant from Google, a grant from Microsoft. I don't think the token is actually buyable. They might have dropped the contract address, which is a little unusual, but at the same time, not totally out of the question. The token has been audited. And so this is a project that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys next week. And then I also want to mention tomorrow night, you guys have something a little bit special in store for you. Tomorrow night, we are doing a live stream with the founder of the Minotaur trading bots. We're going to have Costas on the show. Is this the best trading bot? I'm super impressed with it, guys. I've been trading with the Minotaur trading bot now for about a month and a half. Super impressed with the results. And so we're going to be doing a live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. So you guys that miss out on some of the morning shows are going to have an opportunity to be here live. We're going to be doing a giveaway on that live stream also. So put that into your calendars. Tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going to be going over everything Minotaur trading bot wise. So I've got it hooked up to my Blowfin exchange account right now. It is trading Bitcoin for me. And I am super impressed with the Minotaur trading bot. Looking forward to sharing that with you. Yeah, Pablo says he'll be getting his beauty sleep. Yeah, it'll be like, what is that, 2, 3 in the morning for you? So I guess we can't, 5 in the morning? No, it's not. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I thought you were about 8 hours ahead of me, Paul, but I think it's like 1 in the morning for you. One in the morning for you, if 5 my time. But anyways, yeah, we understand you won't be able to watch it. But the rest of you guys that don't live on the other side of the world will hopefully get a chance to be a part of that. So Vanish says, what caused this sudden dump? I don't know. I'm curious if anybody of you, any of you that are watching have have an opinion on it. My gut tells me that what a lot of times happens, Vanish, is the old, buy the rumor, sell the news. And so it was pretty obvious going into September that we were going to be getting a rate cut. And I think that's part of the reason that if you see this run up here, if we look here, you see this August 12th, and even here in, late August, we had pretty nice run ups in a lot of these tokens. And I think it was, I think a lot of that was because the rate cuts that people were expecting were being priced in. And so when they say buy the rumor, sell the news, that basically means that most of the time the actual event is not a good thing for the markets. So when somebody says, hey, we're going to do some rate cuts in September, the rumor or the fact that they believe that that's happening, people start to buy in and take advantage, and they want to get in before it actually happens, not realizing that most people get in and then start taking profits about the time that the event is actually announced. And so it also says that rumors of Binance flushing out large, long leverage trades. So that's another thing too, Vanish. If you get too many people that are bullish and everybody is longing the market, then the powers that be want to wipe those guys out. They know that if they can start shorting the market, and if they can get some people starting to get liquidated, that causes an avalanche of liquidations. Like you can see here on this chart, and I bet you it looks similar for Bitcoin. Like if we look here, I mean, it's all correlates. Look at this. July 28th, $10. August 2nd, $8. So it dropped almost 20% in 2 days. Now, Venetia, if we go back here to Bitcoin and look here, look, this is probably, so August 13th, where's July 28th? July 30th here. So you can see here's a little bit later, but July 30th, 31st down to on August 2nd. Look at that. It went from all the way up at 118, all the way down to 113 right there. Boom. That was the same thing where we saw the Uniswap. And then you can see here, as we got, closer, we got, this is August 13th. And then, all the way down here over the next, 2 weeks, down all the way as low as 108. And then we popped all the way back up here, September, all the way back up to 117. And now we're all the way back to 113. So there's a lot of little micro events and things that are happening inside of the markets that a lot of us will never even understand are happening behind the scenes. But yeah, it's a little concerning because every time I'm like almost certain that we have to be on the verge of altcoin season, and it starts to look like we're on it. Everything is pumping up. Man, Jerome Powell spoke yesterday, from what Tim says. Jerome Powell spoke yesterday and sent the markets, back down. But yeah, every time I am like just almost certain that altcoin season is here and that we are in for 2 or 3 months of some spectacular price action and really get excited about what is to come, it seems like it hasn't come. And, not to beat a dead horse to death, but that's the other reason. One of the other reasons that I'm so excited about Texitcoin is I have a lot more control over my destiny. With 99% of the tokens out there, you buy them and you hold on to them and you hope that they do well. Well, the Texitcoin's got a roadmap, that path to 16 that has been playing out for several months. This token was down in the low cents and is all the way up to over $5. But there's no doubt in my mind that it's going up to $16 and higher. But once again, like I have the ability, I can control my activity. I can tell 1 or 2 or 3 people about the Texas coin miners, or I can tell dozens or hundreds of people about the Texas coin miners. I can create social media posts. I'm like literally thinking about getting signs for my cars, like they have those magnetic signs. I'm literally looking into getting magnetic Texas coin signs to put on my car, so that when I'm driving down the street, I am a walking billboard for Texas coin. And of course, it'll have my phone number on it. They'll have the ability to get in touch with me. But we're talking, like Texas coin is probably going to be sponsoring the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Stars. Right now, they're sponsoring a couple of NASCAR race car drivers. You're going to see, if you're a NASCAR fan and you like to watch your Formula One, those types of car races, you're going to start seeing cars that are wrapped in the Texas coin logos and wrapped in Texas coin, because they are getting out in front of it. There's billboards all over Florida now. So they started off in Texas, and there's a bunch of billboards and stuff all over Texas. They're expanding that out, and now there's going to be billboards and things all over in Florida. And so one of the other things that, like I say, that I love about Texas coin is that I have a lot more control of my investment and how much money I can make right now. And 3,000 one week, 4,000 one week, 7,000 one week, that's pretty substantial money. And I can cap out at $9,000 a week, $36,000 a month. Along with that, I still have all of the Texas coin coming in too. So like, seriously, if you guys want to have an opportunity to make big money, like tens of thousands of dollars a month in crypto, and you want to have control over your ability to do that, because it's all just a matter of rolling up your sleeves and going to work. And I know most of you are already working 40, 50, 60 hours a week right now to make a living on your job and to be making your paycheck. I think that you guys would be really super excited if you carved out 5 or 10 hours a week to work on the Texas coin miners with me. I think you would be amazed at what we can do. The people that I was telling you, the 4 people that made $1,000, they basically did that in their first week or two. It didn't take them months and months. Like I say, I didn't get my first miner until August 22nd. And I had earned $14,000 by, I want to say it was Saturday, whatever Saturday was. So Monday was the 22nd. So Saturday was the 20th. So literally not even 30 days into getting started with the Texas coin miners, I was at 14 grand that I'd made in that first 30 days. So for those of you that are looking for a side hustle, if anybody is here like going, man, I would like to have more money to invest in crypto than I do, I think the Texas coin miners are just an unbelievable opportunity for you to do that. And then not to mention, like if I wanted to, I could just sell my Texas coin every day, and that would give me $100 a day to invest in the market. So if you don't know about Texas coin's longevity, you don't believe in it as much as I do, you don't know if it's going to be around for 5 or 10 years, then just take the tokens as you get them. There's liquidity. You can literally send the tokens out of your wallet that the miner sends them to, and you can sell them every single day. If I wanted to, I could just go sell my tokens for $100, $100, $100, $100 every single day. Sell my tokens if I wanted to, and just invest it into other things that you do believe in more. Like many years ago, when I first kind of started to get involved in crypto, one of the tokens that I was the most excited about was XRP. And I got a lot of backlash on that because of the Bitcoin maximalists and the people that are like, man, if you like XRP, then you just don't understand the mission of crypto. You don't understand decentralization, and you don't understand this and this and this and this. And you know what? They were partially right. I didn't understand all of that, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't get into crypto because of decentralization. I got into crypto because I wanted to become wealthy. I was tired of working for somebody else. And I didn't care what token I bought that got me there. So, we joke around about meme coins and, people, buying fart coin and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't get into a lot of that stuff. But the main reason I don't get into it is because I don't want to lose all of my money. But I mean, if somebody came to me and they convinced me that, Poo Coin was going to the moon, and I really, really believed it, I would buy some Poo Coin. I mean, I'm not against buying a coin that doesn't have a whole lot of utility or that doesn't, have a whole lot of use case. I'm not putting Texit Coin anywhere near in that category. I guess I'm just saying that I'm here to create wealth, and I'm looking for the tokens that I can do that with, even if there's something like XRP. Now, there's a lot of people that love XRP, but I know that there's some people that even if they believed XRP was going to $100 a token, they just wouldn't buy any because their principle about decentralization and the reason that they believe crypto exists goes against, what XRP stands for. And I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not buying, like mob coin or something. If one of the mob families started something and it was a crooked coin and it was going to be detrimental to people and it was going to cause some bad guy to make a bunch of money and be able to use it for evil, then yeah, I'm not participating in that. But I'm just saying that within reason, if there's a token out there that I believe is going to change my family's financial future, I don't have these idealistic, has to be decentralized, it has to do this, it has to do that. I'm buying it. And so once again, guys, like Texit Coin has an incredible mission. And I think that as you guys learn, more about Bobby Gray, I think that once I have Bobby Gray on the channel and you get to know the founder of Texit Coin a little bit more, I think that some of you that have been resistant to, jumping in and getting miners might change your mind. We'll see. But once again, I know you guys want me to talk about other stuff probably, but at the same time, I got to talk to you about what's going on in my life, what I'm doing. And I don't know about you guys, but if one of you was on here and you had made $14,000 in the last month and you had a token that was getting mined daily for you and getting put into a wallet that was worth $100 a day, and I was here saying, hey guys, do any of you want to share a token with me? Do you want to look, like the way that Dave P mentioned Redstone, the way that Eric mentioned Exterio? Like, I'm pretty sure if one of you guys was involved in Texit Coin and made the kind of money that I had made off of it for the last month, you would probably be putting it in the chat saying, hey Brad, you need to look at Texit Coin. And so that's, all I'm doing here is going over with you guys the things that I'm excited about and the tokens that are, most on my mind. So, with that, I think you're going to be hearing a lot about Texit Coin for months to come, because I think it's just going to continue to be making me more money. And when, I go from $14,000 a month up to the $36,000 a month that's possible, you're probably going to hear about Texit Coin, even more at that point. So, well, with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Got a few errands to run and got to get my morning coffee and a few things rolling. But once again, tomorrow, don't be, wrong spot. Tomorrow, do the Minotaur, the Minotaur trading bot here. Be ready to watch this at 5 p.m. tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you all. Get ready to get $100 giveaway. And yeah, with that, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day. Thanks for putting up with me. God bless you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.